the channel. Thank you again for joining us. And today we are headed to a cemetery.
So it's kind of a special cemetery. I think we took you to there before on our channel, but we're going to look at a holly tree. So the holly tree that's there, we know it's pretty old, and we've actually looked up the age of some holly trees that are in the United States. The oldest one is 350 years old, and I think it's in Pennsylvania.
I think so.
Yeah. So we think that this tree that we're going to see is pretty old. It may not be 350 years old, but we think we might get close. It's been here, we know, for quite a while. My grandfather used to talk about it. It's just really unusual to have a holly tree that's that old. Holly trees, you know, they'll die or whatever before they get that old. So we're gonna go measure the tree, and we're gonna see exactly how old this tree is.
And Tina did some research, and online we found where the tree grows a certain amount per year in circumference, and there's a formula you can use to estimate how old the tree is. So we're going to try that and see if we're even close. Okay, here we are, and this is an old cemetery, really old for the South. This cemetery, I think, started in the 1830s, just as the Indians were not occupying this land anymore. But this is the holly tree, a really big, unusually big holly tree for this area. We want to know how old this tree is. This is an unusual day weather-wise. It started out in the 60s earlier today, and it's going to be, in the mid-20s tonight. And we noticed this tree has a lot of slugs on it.
So we're not sure why this is. They're all over the tree. We don't know if it's something to do with the holly tree. It does have a wound on the other side, and we'll show you in a minute. I don't know what they're eating or why they're on there, unless they're just eating the sap out of it.
So if anybody knows anything about why these are on this tree,
can you
please let us know in the comments. One bad thing about the tree, it looks like it's getting a lot of rot. So we would like to contact somebody about how to preserve this tree, if it's even possible, because this tree really is old. And here is some spots where teenagers, kids carved their initials. Who knows how old this is? I know Tina's grandfather, who was in his 80s when he passed away, said kids used to carve their initials when he was young.
Right.
So if that dates the tree anyway. So really a neat tree. Okay, so we're going to use the formula and the method that we saw on the internet to measure this tree and try to figure out how old it is.
You can use this method on most any tree. You just have to know the growth rate of the tree. There is some websites that you can go on to do the growth rate of any tree. I guess they have observed them over the years and they know the rate of growth. So that is how you use the formula to calculate it. We will post the formula on there so you can see it, how to calculate the growth of a holly tree.
Okay, the first step is to find a place 4.5 feet from the ground. And that puts us right here. Ooh. Hold this, and we will go around the tree. Okay, we have 104 inches. Since this splits, we're going to go a little lower to get another reading, another measurement. We'll go right here is where before it splits. Okay, so this is 96 inches, so between 96 and 104. Okay, so we have our measurements, and it is 104 inches.
And we multiply that by 2.54. This converts that to centimeters, and then you divide that number by 1.25. And that gives you how old the tree is.
In years.
So, in years, that measurement came up to 211 years old.
Okay, and just for the heck of it, we went down a little bit where the tree was narrower before it splits, and we measured, how many inches did we get? 94?
Yeah, 94.
So 94 inches, and 94 inches would be...
Okay, so we're going to do the same formula with it.
So, worst case scenario, if this formula is correct, it would be
191 years old.
This tree, we believe, is around 200 years old, which means 200 years ago in this area, the Indians occupied the area. So this tree has really seen some changes in its life. Now, we are not specialists in this area. We just Googled it and just interested in it. So if you know more about this subject than we do, please say so in the comment. If you've got any suggestions, we'd love to hear it. And if you know of any way to preserve this tree and extend its life a little more, we'd love to hear about it.
And if you know any way about the slugs, are they hurting the tree? Are they doing something bad to the tree? Is that the reason it has a bad spot in it? We would like to know. I don't know any arborists. I think that's who they are. They're specialists in trees. If anybody does or wants to refer them to our channel, please do so. We'd like to try to preserve this holly tree.
And this tree is in a historic cemetery. This cemetery is one that not many people know about. It is well maintained, and Tina has ancestors here, and this goes back to the 1830s, 1840s. So it's really neat to see this tree that has survived this long, if it has been that long. So if you know something about telling how old a tree is by measurements like this, please let us know. And thank you again for watching. If you like the channel, please subscribe.